members, and this has been throughout history, by the way, is when you have the elite class who have information, they want to keep that information to themselves so that they do not have competition. Throughout the history of the world, the ruling classes, the elite class of people that had this knowledge, they wanted to keep the knowledge to themselves so they didn't have competition. The way to do that was, first and foremost, keep the masses illiterate. If we can keep the masses unable to read, then we will keep them outside of this ability to get this knowledge, which is one of the reasons why in schools around the world, reading levels are continuing to go down. Now, throughout history, the majority of the population was illiterate. In today's society, we have schools, so we think, oh, everybody can read and write. It's not really true. In America, for example, phonics, which was taught in all schools, was taken out of the schools and replaced with a method called the look-see method. And this makes sure that kids can't really read. So reading is diminishing over time. It's going down, 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 down. So we learn this information within the societies primarily from reading. And reading is something that is really overlooked. But knowledge that comes through reading is quite different than through any other method.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Another blessed and grateful day. How's everybody feeling coming into 2023? Feeling blessed? Feeling abundant? I didn't have my phone all yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to plug in everybody. I had to go ahead and get a new phone real quick. But nonetheless, I'm excited. We've got a lot happening, a lot of incentives, a lot of announcements coming into 2023. Ready to go ahead and dive into it. I've got, right, as you guys can see, I've got KT playing at the beginning of the video. We're going to be going through KT all throughout this year, diving through the series, really go ahead and using the power of manifestation, learning about the teachability index, really diving in. So, no, I still got it. You already know. We tapped in to MT4, so we good to go. No sweat. But yeah, so nonetheless, I'm excited. We've got a lot happening. We've got ka-chings coming. We've got withdrawals flowing. So we are all good to go on this end with the Dream Team. So today's topic, as you guys can see, we're going to be talking about how to go ahead and get rich inside of the recession that we're in 2023. So you can see I got a fire topic laid out for today. But before we go ahead and dive in, let's get a little bit of gratitude. What is everybody grateful for coming into today? Go ahead and drop it down below while I go live on IG, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. How to get rich in a recession in 2023. Okay, awesome. Here we go. Let's get to it. So, family, once again, grateful for God, grateful for the mind, had me at risk, grateful for the body, for the spirit, so grateful for the family. We had a good amount of family time over the past couple of days. So, honestly, I'm really grateful because over most of the holidays for the past couple of years, I've actually had to skip out on most, right? I haven't had a chance to be present for the holidays. So to be able to be around for Christmas and New Year's and be able to make my calls to the family and go drive and see some of them, it was nice. It was good to go ahead and fill up the cup. Grateful for a sore body. Yes, I love it. We are getting back in action. The body's getting right, the mindset, the emotional side, the spiritual side. We're attacking all pillars coming in 2023. So if you're feeling sore, that's a good thing, right? It means we're doing something. So I'm proud of you. Great job. I'm about to go get in there after this call as well. I'm a little late. But here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it, family. So I got a great topic, right? Today we're going to be talking about how to go ahead and get rich inside of a recession. I've got about 6 tips that I'm going to go ahead and dive in and give everybody. So if you got your paper lined out, you're ready to go. I got 6 bullet points. I'm going to go ahead and flow through as we go through. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, family. The first bullet point, first tip I want to go ahead and talk about, right? And this is coming from the GOAT, right? This is coming from Sean. So you already know he's got his whole year mapped out, right? So I'm actually pulling from a couple of different people. This is from Sean Murphy. This is from Robert Kiyosaki. This is from a couple of the top influencers that are really prepared coming in to this year. So just know I've got a lot of firepower inside of this training. So the first tip is going to be known as familiarity, okay? Familiarity, right? At the end of the day, you've got to understand coming into this new year, here's one of the biggest things that I'm focused on, right? The people that we're normally familiar with, right, whether that be friends, family, or close circle of influence, I had to really sit down and identify a couple years ago who is in my circle, who am I really listening to, and at the end of the day, you're 6 people from meeting, calling, being in front of anybody that you want to meet. So I really got serious about my circle of influence. I really got serious about who it is that I'm listening to, I'm around. So as far as familiarity goes, you guys have to think about it like this, okay? The 33% rule states 33% of my time, 33% of your time is powerful to be spent with a mentor, right? So 33% of our time can be spent with a mentor. The next 33% of your time can be spent with those that are at your level, right? Those that are similar to you, that have a similar work ethic to you, because whatever that you create yourself into is what you're going to attract, right? So as you start to level up as leader, we're going to attract higher level leaders. So this is the second 33% of our time. And the third 33% of our time can be spent with those that we're mentoring, right? With those that are coming in, maybe at the same spot that you were at the beginning of your journey, because guess what you have now? You have what's called experience. You have knowledge, you have wisdom that you're able to now not only learn, but now you're able to go out and teach it. So when it comes to the law of familiarity, you've got to think about it this year. One of the biggest things that I'm focused on is standing on the shoulders of giants, right? This is one of the fastest shortcuts I've ever learned so far in the past, 5-6 years that I've been in the game, standing on the shoulders of giants. Why? They've done the hard work. They have the wisdom, they have the experience, and now they're able to pass that on to us so we can learn from their mistakes instead of learning from ours. This is how you really compress time frames. If you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to build your e-commerce store, how about speaking, building your brand on social media, all of these different areas, there's people that we can find that are already giants that we can go and learn from them and cut the learning curve. You realize we have access to every one of those. We have education with trading, e-commerce, social media, mindset, right? We have everything right here at the one-stop shop. So there's no doubt in my mind the growth that is inevitable for us to go ahead and be able to take advantage of. Okay. So number one is going to be familiar. This is really important to understand this side of it. Number two is going to be unknown, right? Being able to look at the word unknown a little bit differently than you might have seen it before. You see, normally when we think about unknown, coming into entrepreneurship, a lot of these things are unknown. But at the same time, when it comes to life, every day that we wake up is unknown. Nothing is guaranteed. You might feel like today is the same as yesterday, but in reality, it's nothing even close to being the same. It's completely different than yesterday. So when I started understanding that, I started realizing that here's the deal. Everything we're doing is going to be unknown. Why not run at things that are unknown that I can be intentional about? Your success, your growth, right? Developing on a daily basis. This is all things that we can really show that we're actually intentional about it. So let me ask you this question. This is getting pretty deep for today. And I've touched on this before. If somebody were to convict you, right? If you were to get arrested right now and somebody were to convict you, would there be any evidence of you going after your dreams? You thought I was going to say something else, right? Would there be any evidence of you going after your dreams? Could you be able to prove that you've been going after all of these amazing things that we've been talking about? For those that are in the dream team, absolutely, right? That's why we got these. This is why we have the notebooks. If somebody were to convict me and arrest me right now, D, have you really been going after your dreams? You talk a big game. You talk a lot. You say you want to travel. You say you want to impact all these lives. But let me see the proof. Let me see the deep work that you've actually been putting in. Show it to me. Show me the deep work. Show it to me. Show it to me. If you cannot show me this, and you're talking about this abundant life, you're speaking about all of these fruitful things to go ahead and flow in. I literally had to get my next one. I just got on to my next one, right? I just broke this in. It's a brand new one. You see, it's already blank, these rest of these pages. So my goal I got another one right here. Look, I got them for days, right at my disposal. Filled it up. Growth, knowledge, development, time, energy, right? My mentor told me years ago, he said, Dean said, guilty as charged. I love it. Let's go. Convicted, right? So you've got to be able to show me the deep work. My mentor, Sean Murphy, tells me that all the time. He said, you know what the problem with most people? He said, most people, they live a shallow life. You ever seen Shallow Hal? Well, most people live a shallow life, pal. That's the problem. So if you really want to go ahead and develop into the side that you've been envisioning for so long, it's 2 words: deep work. Being able to not just understand life, but being able to understand. A lot of us, we spend so much time with other people, we haven't spent enough time for ourselves. And even for ourselves, we're unknown. We don't even know ourselves. We don't, and that's why I love Neno's call today. The triggers, right? How many of us have little triggers throughout the whole day that piss us off all the time? We have the same triggers and we wonder why we're frustrated all the time. But if you were to get an awareness, if you were to become known of your unknown right now, guess what? Life changes. Because now you're able to go ahead and see what pushes your buttons, and now you're able to handle it. Now you're able to not only respond, but now you're and not only react, but now you can respond. You see, most people react to their triggers. But when you're able to respond, now you have control and life isn't controlling you. You see the difference? So I had to start running at the unknown, things that really made me fearful. I didn't know how good I was going to be at speaking. In fact, I thought I was going to be the worst. I didn't know how I was going to be at trading. It was scary to me. I didn't know how to build an e-commerce store. It was frightful. I didn't want to waste a lot of money. But guess what? These are unknowns I knew if I was intentional about to go out and really learn them, the fruit that comes off that tree is more fruitful than a lot of things that I was going to put my time into. So understand, if you can run to the unknowns that you're intentional about, look how much life can change. Look at it. So think about the things in life that might seem scary to you right now, and let's stop asking the what ifs, because we can all sit here and write 1,000 what ifs. What if trading doesn't work? What if I spend all this time in e-commerce and I'm not successful? Well, guess what? We can write 1,000 of those. You know what the truth is? All I needed was one reason to succeed. What happens? I wonder what happened. I wonder what my life looks like when I go out and I make 6 figures in e-commerce in 2023. Sitting from my house, listing products that I don't even touch and I never even see the person. I wonder what life looks like. I wonder what life looks like when I never have to be just a consumer on the holidays and I'm now a producer. For the rest of my life, when I'm able to take advantage of the holidays and I'm no longer just spending money, I wonder what life looks like. You see the difference? I just need one reason. You just need one reason to why trading, entrepreneurship, business, becoming a real leader, you just need one reason as to why that can benefit your life, those around you, and actually for your generations to come. It's real. So that's number 2, right? Number 3, told you I got a lot of heat coming for today. I'm fired up. Owning it. Yes, I love it. Right? So we're taking out the what ifs and we're putting in the I wonders. Get the what if out of your life. What if doesn't exist to me anymore? I wonder. Right? This is where the QLQs come in. All right, number 3. The third one that we're going to be diving into is going to be motivation, right? Just the word motivation in general, because this is a word, I love it, but I dislike it at the same time, right? Motivation is great, but the fact of the matter is it doesn't last very long, right? We all know that. Motivation fades. What does last, though? If motivation fades, what is going to be the one word that we can that's similar to motivation that we're really going to need coming into 2023? I want to ask you guys, put it down below. Motivation can last for a minute, for an hour, but it fades. What's the one word that we really that would really change the game? Motivation is garbage, Mel Robbins says. Facts. How about the D word? How about discipline? You see, I would rather have motivation over discipline every day. Discipline allows you see with discipline, this is what allows you to keep going long after the feeling of when you felt like doing it is gone. That's the difference. You see, when you're disciplined, it doesn't matter what's going on, doesn't matter what holiday happens. You see, you know what's funny? Over Christmas, I still have journal entries. I was still growing myself. So it doesn't matter what's going on. I have a certain level of discipline. Now, I've created a certain level of priorities and standards that I understand that growth to me is not even a question. And for those of you, every one of you on the call, it's the same way for you. That's why you show up. That's why you're on here. Because you understand that your discipline is going to get you a lot farther than motivation. building your endurance for discipline right now. At the end of the day, yeah, right. This is something that we're all growing. This is something that we're all getting better at every day. For being honest, my discipline used to suck, right? My discipline was poor. That's why I love how Nene was getting real deep today, talking about for him, it took him 2 years to really get the right discipline in all areas to really start seeing this thing manifest. And I'm gonna be honest, it was the same for me. I had discipline, but I didn't have discipline in multiple different areas. I wasn't disciplined in reading. I wasn't disciplined in filling up notebooks, right? I wasn't disciplined in really being intentional in everything that I was getting on to listen. I used to just hop on Zoom calls just to be on there until I realized, why am I sitting in the same spot? Because I wasn't taking what I was listening to and going out to implement it, taking something to really be on a call to understand that there's a reason why this call is being held, right? There's a reason. So if I can show up, if I can take it and I can implement, there's no reason to why I can't grow and see the success that everybody else is having. There's no reason. Somebody else got their mail, we can get it too, right? Ours is on the way. Time just has to catch up. So this was big. This is something I had to learn along the way. And when it comes to motivation, here's what I want to give you, right? Going back to motivation, I don't like the word motivation. I love discipline though. So if you really want to go ahead and master number 3, here's my big tip for you. How disciplined can you be? Let's just start with something simple. With drinking alkaline water, with eating blueberries in the morning. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if we don't, I was talking about this with Sean this whole past week. If we don't take care of the brain, guess what? Nothing else matters. Every single thing else is irrelevant. So I got to take some time on this one, okay? If you're not taking the time to feed, if we are not taking the time to feed our body the right nutrients, how can we operate at a high level? That's like giving a Ferrari 87 fuel. It's not going to be able to run the way it needs to. So every one of you on this call, you're a high performance vehicle. If you didn't know that, let me be the first to tell you. You are a high performance vehicle. You cannot perform at a high level eating junk food. You cannot perform at a high level eating sugar. You know that sugar is like throwing water inside of a gas tank. What happens to your gas tank if you go fill it up with this right now? You are going to tear it up if you go throw sugar in there. That's what happens when we're putting sugar in our body. It's like putting water in fuel, right? So at the end of the day, you've really got to be intentional about what it is that we're feeding ourselves. This is everything. I want to operate at a high level. I want to be energized all day. I don't want to eat something and be lazy and feel like I got to go take a nap. If you eat meat on this call, I'm going to be honest with you. Meat is probably a big reason why you feel lazy, why you feel lethargic, why you're feeling the way that you feel every day. Just being honest, right? You're eating dead meats, so guess how you're going to feel? Dead. It is what it is, right? If you really want to start getting woke and understanding, this is how the body works, right? When you eat meat, that meat sits in your body and has to digest for 4 months until that's processed throughout your body, until that's flushed out. But you see, when you eat fruit, when you eat greens, when you eat whole foods, that is processed in a matter of hours. Hours. If some of you have never looked this up before, I'm going to be the first one to tell you. Go look up a colonoscopy, okay? Everybody, when you get around 50 years old, you do a colonoscopy and they pretty much see what's going on in your insides and they see the buildup. If you were to see what most people's veins look like, I'm going to give you an enlarged version. Most people's veins, okay? If the vein is this big, there's so much fat, there's so much garbage that builds up, it gets constricted to where it becomes this small. This is why people have heart attacks. This is why people have illnesses and diseases, because the arteries get restricted because of all the garbage that we eat. So let me be the first to tell you, family, I'm not just coming from somebody who is telling you what to do, right? If you want to build a body, don't listen to somebody who goes and sits on the couch. Listen to somebody who's actually done it. So I'm not just talking to you. I'm giving you things that I actually implement myself, right? My sister passed away from cancer. So ever since I really dove into the body and how it works, I understood that what we eat and what we drink is first and foremost before we talk into any strategies, anything that we have to do in 2023. Because if that's not right, forget about anything else. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to operate good. And the results, I already know what they're going to look like, right? So number 3 is a big one, discipline. Do you have the discipline to go ahead and say, I love myself too much to not eat what we're not supposed to eat, to go ahead and jump into the gym, to say, you know what, I'm not going to be the person 3 weeks goes by to go ahead and leave it behind. I'm going to keep going, right? So number 3, this is a big one. Yeah, I get touchy on these subjects because I'm passionate about it. Number four is going to be lack of support. Okay. Along this journey, right? Sometimes you might feel a little lonely at the end of the day. Drop a 1 down below if you felt a little bit lonely along this journey. I'll go ahead and put my ones down below because I've experienced it as well, right? I feel it too. Right, for sure. That's why I'm doing this on the side. I want to help people build in all aspects, mentally, physically, spiritually, right, emotionally. So this is the thing, right? When it comes to this side of it, this is what I really started to realize. Okay. Number 4 is going to be all about really understanding that when it comes to support, you have a family here, you have people all around, right around you that love you, that appreciate you, that are grateful for your existence. This is why the Dream Team was created, if I'm being honest. This is a big reason. I never really had a lot of people outside of the close circle that really believed me, that saw as big as I could see, right? Obviously, I was a D1 athlete. People celebrated and believed in me, but they couldn't see the bigger dreams that I saw. So if you feel pretty similar, like the way, like when you go out and you have conversations, you feel like you're talking to aliens because they can't understand what you're saying, then guess what? You're an entrepreneur. You're built to stick out. You are part of the 5%. This is why. It's not a coincidence. So if you felt a little bit awkward your whole life, guess what? Welcome to the club. You're a misfit, just like everybody else that's here. That's why all of us connect so well. We all have stories. We all have terrible things that we've been through, that we've gone through, that we've been able to now grow through. And this is the magic, being able to get on the other side, to get on stage together, to be able to have these conversations and laugh about what is that we've gone through. This is why I do what we do, because I understand that now you do have a system. You do have a family. You do have people that actually support you, that love you, and that actually really want to see you win. Anything that I ever did before this, the second people took my money, that was it. They left me in the dust. No calls, no mentorship, nothing, right? But this is the first time that I actually had people that wanted me to win, because they understood when I'm able to succeed and grow, guess what happens to them? They grow as well. So I have the same intention for every one of you. I wholeheartedly want to see the best version of you step out. I want to see you step into your greatness. I want to see you speaking on stages. I want to see you slapping ka-chings in your store. I want to see the abundance of withdrawals coming into your bank account. There was nothing that would fill me up more than that, than to see you really understand what you can accomplish in this lifetime. That became my new high. That became my new addiction. That's why I do. I don't get up every day just for me. It's way deeper than just me. I would have quit a long time ago if it was just about me. It's truly become about being able to see others win and grow as well. Because I know if I can help enough people get what they want, everything that I want is secondary. It's a byproduct. That's why I tell you guys all the time. Service to many is one of the greatest things that any of us can do. So don't be selfish with this information, because you never know what somebody can take and run it with, right? So when it comes to support, fall in love with you, right? This journey, I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of you pour so much into other people, whether that be your family, your friends, people that call you and need your help. But here's the deal. When I come back and I look at your cup, you don't have to tell me, but I know it. I can see it. Your cup is empty. You've poured out so much into other people. You have no love for yourself. You look in the mirror and there's just something that agitates you. You're frustrated. There's not that spark when you look at yourself. But you know what I had to find? Even in my toughest moments, even in my most struggling, defining moments, I had to understand this. When I looked in the mirror, I got goosebumps talking about it right now, right? For real, I really do. I would look in the mirror and I would tell myself, I am the one. I am the one to break the chains. I am the one to break the limited thinking. I am the one to leave a positive dent. I'm not here to just exist. When my sister passed, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't always think like this. I knew I was destined for something great, but I didn't really understand it until my sister passed. I knew everything happens for a reason. And that was my reason to no longer be afraid anymore, to go step into my greatness. I understand I have angels watching me. You have angels watching over you. I'm here to tell you right now, if you don't know it, pay attention. I was going on a walk yesterday. My phone was broke yesterday. So I was like, you know what? Let me go take a walk. Let me get out in nature. I haven't been without a phone. I can't even tell you. Like, for me to be without a phone for 5 minutes is honestly insane. My phone goes nuts. So for me to not have a phone for literally almost a whole day yesterday was unreal. But at the same time, I'm so blessed and grateful for God for it. Because that was one of the first times that, seriously, I didn't even have an option. I couldn't even check my messages, couldn't check my trays. I didn't even have an option. Had to wait for my new phone to come in. But I took a step out of nature, and I went out, I had a conversation with God. And I got really quiet, got really still, and I sat right out on a bench overlooking this beautiful water view with the wind breezing. I could see the fish jumping in the water. The sun was just glistening on my skin. It felt so abundant. And I was just sitting, just telling myself how great I already am, thanking myself for all the trials and tribulations that I've already gone through. So if I were to give you guys a piece of homework, and we talked about it already this week, I gave it to you on Sunday, write 2 letters for yourself. The first letter, write a congratulations letter to yourself for everything that you've already grew through, all the trials and tribulations. You've been through so much in your life, and some of you have forgot how powerful you are. This might be that nudge that you needed to wake up and understand how much that you've already grew through, to know that no matter what happens in your life next, it's going to be a pebble in front of you, because look at what you've already stepped over. That's the first letter I'd encourage you to do. The second letter, and then we'll just talk about it on today's call. Write a congratulations for yourself as if you were sitting, reading it December 31st, 2023. What does that look like for you? I have mine right here. Have it right here. I'm going to go through this almost every day so I can step in this feeling. A boss is going to tell you what to do. A leader is going to lead by example and show you what to do. You ready? So here's mine. Here's my congratulations letter for 2022. So you can see it. I wrote this literally 6 days before the new year at 1:44 in the morning. I got a whole laid out. I envisioned my whole year. Did I hit everything? No. That's okay. I'd rather aim high and miss than aim low and hit. But guess what? I have my next letter written for 2023. It's written. It's right here. Congratulations letter for 2023. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got a whole thing really deep, and I'm going to expand on this as I go. But the vision is there and the feeling is there before it even happens. The love that I have for myself, the love that I have for you on the dream team, the love that I have for anybody else that's walking is at a whole nother level, because I understand one of the highest emotions that any of us can utilize and leverage is love, right? So that's big. That's my number 4 for you. You guys can take that and run with it. That's going to set up your whole 2023. Number 5, I got 2 more for you. Number 5 is going to be resistance to change. Okay? Resistance to change. Whenever we start doing something different, even when we're doing something for a period of time, there's going to be those thoughts that happen in our head. I'm ready to stop. Okay? If I were to tell you to get down and do 10 push-ups right now, you might get to 2, you might get to 3, but guess what's going to happen at 4? You're going to be like, I'm ready to stop. I'm tired. My muscles hurt. I'm ready to get down. But you know what's funny? We have 2 sides we can listen to. The body's always going to quit before the mind, right? So we can listen to the child voice, or we can also listen to your higher voice. Your higher voice is going to tell you to keep going. Your higher voice is going to tell you you've got so much more in the tank, it's not even funny. So when you can start tapping into the higher voice, everything that you start to embark on this journey is going to become a lot simpler for you. Trading was aggravating to me at the beginning. Why? Because I didn't pick it up right away. Normally, I'm very fast at picking up things, but I didn't get it right away. So to me, at the beginning, the resistance to change was very difficult. Why? Because I had a lot of self-doubt. I kept telling myself, this is foreign, this is crazy looking, I'm not going to be able to learn this. But that's why I was seeing the results that I was seeing, because the thoughts that I was telling myself as I was going through this resistance. But you know what happened when I started changing how I looked at it? My results started to follow. I started to get excited about coming to show up. I started getting excited to come on and learn, because I knew every day that I got on and showed up, I was sharpening my sword. I was getting better at my craft. Instead of just getting on and ask myself, why do I keep losing money? Why is this not working out for me? Every time that I took a loss, I said, you know what? That's not a loss. That's a lesson. It's only a loss if I keep repeating the same mistake and then I keep losing. But if I learn from the loss, now it becomes a lesson. Now the next time I jump into that same battle, I'm equipped. This is what this whole game is about. Okay? You're gonna go through resistance to change all day long. It doesn't end, if we're being honest, right? Resistance to change never stops. After you hit one level, guess what? What got you here is not going to get us to that next level. So there's going to be change that needs to happen in order to get to these next levels. So if change is something that bothers you, I'm going to be the one to bear the news. Change is one of the only constants in life. Change. That's something that nobody can run away from. As we grow, we're going to change. Your vision that you had, your purpose that you might have had 5, 10 years ago is probably different than what it's going to be in 5 years from this point. It grows as we go, but change is inevitable, and there's going to be resistance as long as we keep letting it give us resistance. But the second that we're able to change the way we see it, this is here for me to grow. This is here for me to learn. This is here for me to go ahead and adapt. So when I reach these levels, I'm now prepared and I'm now equipped. Okay? It takes being certain and being uncertain. You're going to be uncertain about certain types of change, but at the same time, you're going to be certain that as you start to learn it, you have a different certain level of confidence, you have a different certain level of belief, you have a different certain level of action, right? But at one time, it was uncertain to you. So understand, change has both of these aspects. You're going to be uncertain, but you also have these certain aspects as well. Okay? It's pretty certain that go look at your body. Go look at your body after 90 days, 6 months stretch, resistance to change. You're going to be certain about the change that you've been able to make when you go ahead and when you look in the mirror 6 months down the line, 90 days down the line, because you were able to look at the resistance to change a little bit different. Going to the gym might be aggravating to you right now, but if you know you're growing through it every day, it becomes exciting, right? When you stop looking at the scale and you start looking at the daily disciplines, okay? So this is big. Last but not least is going to be, here we go. This was a deep one, right? So I want you guys to think about your potential, right? The last one is going to be potential. So obviously all of our potential, it's unlimited. Our capabilities is unlimited. But what ends up limiting all of this right here ends up coming down to our frequency. I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever just been sitting maybe in silence? You've been sitting somewhere and you got an idea pop up? I like to call it a download, right? You get these downloads that just pop up and you have this phenomenal idea that you might be ready to go ahead and act on. Well, this is called a download, okay? When you're tapped into the right frequency, when your vibration is at the right level, you start to get what's called these downloads, okay? Here's what I mean by that. If we can hear sounds, if we can hear vibrations, you can literally turn that and transmute that into something that you can actually take action with, right? What do I mean by that? When you start getting around audios, when you start getting around mentors, when you start getting around different types of conversations, the frequency, the energy that's around this, it starts to trigger, just like we were talking about this morning, it starts to go ahead and spin up the quantum field for you to start being in the right vibration, taking the right action, being around the right people to start manifesting and bringing in all of these things in the universe that you desire. So when I go back and I look at my results, I had to literally backtrack and think about what are some of the things that it took to get to this level. All of these were things that had to conspire to allow these things to start manifesting. So if I were to give you an example, here's the example, okay? Robert Bannister, we talked about that before. Nobody had ever broken a 4-minute mile until one person did it. The second that one person did it, 29 went out and completed it the next month later. So here's something that's interesting. A lot of us, we're scared to go there because we can't see it. The doctors told him his heart would explode getting even halfway in that run. Why? Because they couldn't see what he saw. So I want you guys to think about this. For most of us, how long have you been in entrepreneurship? Has it been a month? Has it been 6 months? Has it been 2 years? Has it been almost 4 or 5 plus years like me? Because here's something that I want to go ahead and give you guys to think about. Okay, nice. A couple years, 2 years, 5 years. Nice. Here's what I want to get you guys to think about. Can you visualize a time in your childhood, something that got you really excited? Something that's very vivid inside of your memories. Can you think about an occasion like that inside of your childhood? Give me something exciting. What's something that you can remember that happened when you were younger? Dancing, ice skating, you could have went hiking with your family, you could have traveled somewhere really cool, right? And you can envision that. You can see that. You can almost feel as if you're in that same spot when you were there before. You know what the problem when it comes to success for most people? We can jump back 2 years. We can jump back 5. We can jump back 10, 15 years like that. And we can see it that clearly. But you know what's funny? When it comes to our dreams, when I say, what do your dreams look like? What does your congratulations look like for 2023? All of a sudden, it's foggy. It's like there's a lens in the way. It's like there's a thick wall of glass in between us of what we're trying to look at in our goals. This is why most people struggle seeing success, because we haven't been able to see our future as clear as we've been able to see our past. This is why 11:11, I say it almost every day. Almost every day I say it. Paint your vision. There's a reason why I say that, and there's a reason why my name is Define Dreams, because most people have never taken the time to go ahead and paint their vision, to paint their dreams, how it is that they envision. So this is a very crucial topic. So that's why I'm telling you, if you guys really do this homework and you know what it is that you want, now you're going to, when you have what you want on paper, everything changes. Your priorities change. The people you say yes to, the people that you say no to, because now your time becomes more valuable. We don't have time to sit and dilly-dally because we have goals that we're running towards into 2023. So this is all keys that I've had to learn over the course that really, really changed the game for me. So the last thing I want to go ahead and leave everybody with, go ahead and to really end off the day, is a couple different things, okay? Here's your QOQ. I want to give you guys something tactical to go and implement for today. Here's your QOQ. Who do I become when my dreams become more clearer? That is your QOQ. Who do I become when I can truly start to envision my 2023 in high definition and 4K resolution? Because when you're able to do this, you're going to notice that you can change your state simply by using your thoughts. Simply by tapping into this, simply by tapping into your thinking. We can change our state, we can change our frequency. And when you change your frequency, everything else follows. The action, the results, right? The magnetism that starts to happen inside of our lives. Because here's what I can promise you. You can have a great strategy. You can have the best strategy, but if you have a bad state, forget about it. You're never going to be able to create abundance. It's not going to work. You can have the exact blueprint, you can have the scripts, you can have the layout, but if the state is not there, forget about it. Nothing else matters. So I've become so serious, so intentional about helping you guys really understand how important the state is that I'm going to talk about it all year. This is going to be a topic we're going to dive into a lot. Controlling your state. So let me ask you this. What is the state that your strategy creates? What is the state that your strategy creates? Because when you're in the right state, there is no uncertainty. There's no uncertainty. I know exactly where I'm going. Doesn't matter what obstacles come in my way. I know we're going to be able to get there. It's inevitable. So I'm still going 5 years later. Doesn't matter what hits me. I have the state. I have the story. I have the strategy. Now it's all become aligned, but it had to start with my state. It came from the feeling. So I want to give you guys one more thing to put you in state real quick. One more thing to get you to think about your story. One more thing so you can really have these two together. So now the strategy is actually going to do something for you because we've created these other two. This is the 3 S's: state, story, strategy. These are big, right? Tony Robbins talks about this. Here's my visualization for everybody today. Sean Murphy actually did this on his 50th birthday, and I'm going to steal this as well. You ready? Tony, domination time, baby. You already know. Here's my visual for you today. When you turn 50 years old, when you turn 50, if you were to have those that came to your birthday as if it was a eulogy, what would it be that they are saying on that day? Woo! This is a deep one to think about. 50 years old, if that was it, what would they be saying at your eulogy? What does your dash look like? What did you accomplish? What type of impact? What type of impact did you have? And I want you to just think about that. And you're standing outside of the circle and you're just listening to what everybody says. You're still alive, your 50th birthday, but you want everybody to go ahead and speak as if they were speaking your eulogy. And what would it be that they are saying about the dash that you left? This is all things that really is going to trigger you to allow you to really get deep. Hopefully when you make this congratulations letter, because you're going to realize there's no need to play around with it anymore. There's no need to be afraid anymore. Time waits on nobody. Life is short, family. Life is very short. My sister passed away at 20 years old in a blink of an eye. Very healthy. auditioned to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader. You know what's happened? She was actually going to a rave, and all of a sudden, boom, her heart got funky. She had to get airlifted with a helicopter, and life changed in a matter of a second. So I'm here to tell you, don't wait until you're thinking about this perfect day in 2023 to go out and not be fearful, to go out to step into the highest version of you. There's never been a better time than to do it right now and today. There's a reason why I'm so passionate. There's a reason why I show up every day. And these are some of the things behind the scenes that some people don't hear, some people don't know, but this is really why. Because it's deeper than just me. What you're doing is deeper than just you. You have people around you that love you, that need you, that are waiting for you to go ahead and go get your greatness so you can go ahead and pour back into them. Because it's not a matter of if people are going to need you in your life. Your family's going to need you at one point. The question is, are you going to be ready or not? And what I just said to you is a question that I ask myself every day. My family's going to need me. Am I going to be ready or not? Over Christmas time, 2 years before Christmas, one of my family members, drunk, broke her leg, had to get surgery. You know how much the surgery costs? She broke her tibia, broke her kneecap. She had to get a metal rod down her whole leg from her hip down to her ankle. That cost $46,000. That's just for the surgery. I'm not even talking about the whole doctor's time that she's been there for 10 days. So you can imagine that's over a 6-figure bill. If I wasn't beating at my craft for the last 4 or 5 years, that would have broke me. But you know what's funny? You know what I say now? Here's my card. Swipe it. I don't care what it takes. I don't want to be on a payment plan. Swipe it. Let's do whatever it takes. Knock it off. Put it on my credit. Knock it out. I won't have to worry about it. These are things that I'm telling you that I want you to understand now before life hits. And now we're backs against the wall. Now we got to go ahead and hurry up and make things happen. I don't want life to get to that point because I know what that's like. Thank God, right? So, family, I love you guys. I'm so passionate about these topics, and I love talking about it because I know if you take something out of this, and even one person gets something out of this today, and you implement and you run with it, that's all that matters, right? I did my job. So, family, with that being said, I love you. I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. Go out and be great. If nobody told you that today, your voice is powerful. Your family is waiting for you. Your family loves you. You have people around the world that are waiting for you. I promise you, for you to step in your greatness so you can give back and be a person to lend a hand, a hug, and a heart. So, family, I love you, God. Is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Actually, I do have one more thing to end off today's training, right? We're talking about the feeling. We're talking about the state, and I want to give you guys a hack, right? One of my biggest hacks that I've been able to find something, okay, that makes you happy, right? They say laughter is some of the best medicine, right? I don't know if you guys know this or not. Laughter can cure diseases, illnesses. You know why people get diseases? Because they're at dis-ease for too long. They've been at stress. They've been anxious. So today, if I were to give you something, do something today that makes you happy. Do something today that makes you smile, okay? This is so big, so important to work, so important to know this. And actually, I did have 2 more things I want to end it off with, right? Who are the 6 people that would carry you to your casket? Because we're talking about the eulogy, so I didn't want to end this training without spinning this out there. Who are the 6 people that would carry you to your casket? Have you thought about that? It's very interesting to think about. If you haven't thought about that, it's something to get the wheels turning. And here's the last thing. Find your happy song, right? To get in the feeling, to get in the state. And I don't know if you guys have this or not, but if you haven't, I'm going to give you one of my songs, right? Pick a song that just gets you in mode, that gets you in vibration, that gives you goosebumps, right? So for myself, you already know I've got mine, so I'm going to go ahead and get that started. But family, it is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. I'm going to go ahead and get these tunes going so we can go ahead and end off this day feeling good. But family, I love you guys. I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. And I see the work that you are putting in every day. It does not go unnoticed. So let me go ahead and end this thing off. Getting the feeling real quick. And we're going to go ahead and step into an abundant, a great day. So I love you, Dream Team. I appreciate you. Let's get it. Here we go. Who's got to guess what song I'm about to play? Nikki's got a new one. Here we go. Who knows the song? We're feeling good, family. We're feeling good, family. I love it. Go out, have a great day. Let's get to it. Game time. Let's go.